Glad all over, yes, I'm glad all over. Hey, y'all, come on in. We're glad all over.
Come join us at the Jukebox for an episode today with the Razor Company and MacDuff's Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. Thank you for finding our little barbershop. If you happen to be here during one of the live premieres, we'd love to meet you. Come on in and meet the Whiff Pack, a cool group of friends from all over the world hanging out, and they'd love to meet you too.
They would. And for our mention today, we just got the email that MacDuff's is now offering hardware. So check out their website. There's a whole new tab. They have bowls, brushes, razors, blades, blade banks, all the things.
Merkers, Rockwells. Y'all, for a guy with a full beard, he sure knew which hardware to pick.
And if you live in Edmonton, you may be lucky enough to have a personal delivery from Sean himself.
Y'all, $40 or more and MacDuff the dog will come to your door with the stuff. We're thinking of moving just for that. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all, so from the sales page at therazorcompany.com.
So here's the deal. When there's no write-up besides just the scent notes, Marcus writes his own.
All right, y'all, so from the non-AI-assisted mind of Marcus Klinger, it's a Saturday night, 1965. Cruising the boulevard has built up a hefty appetite, and no conversation needs to be had as the jalopies begin to move as one, making their way toward the magenta, neon, chrome, and glass world that is the local diner. And its crown jewel, in the dead center of the action, stands the jukebox, a clockwork marvel of gears, bubbles, and music. Roy Orbison, the Dave Clark Five, the Turtles, the Monkees, the Drifters, and the Platters all had a home here and were at your service as long as you had a nickel to put in the slot. It was our record collection. It was our altar. And it was our sanctuary.
And with that, we are told that this may be a cousin to a previous MacDuff scent that was more of a cream soda side. So let's find out when we open the box. We may have gotten just a few extra during the Black Friday sales.
Oh, it was a magnificent sale, y'all. You did not see Alien. You did not see Soulless. You did not see Rhymes with Orange. That one is coming. But you did see the jukebox. You know it's a good day when your invoice comes with a staple. Oh, and there's a note! Hey, dear Marcus and Sarah, you are both legends. Thank you so much for your support from Jason.
Aww.
Thank you, Jason, and thank you for having this sale because you did see
yes, you
the
did.
jukebox. Y'all, who's a good boy? Look at that. I love the color scheme like an old comics page.
Even just like the color palette themselves are kind of more that same vibe and years, you know?
That's your favorite teal color you love too. That's
true. They
cool.
must have known.
Ooh, y'all get out your quarters and shine them up. We are ready for our first impression. All right, I want you to go first. I'm going to ask you some questions. I went first on our last two, so It is your turn.
I am excited, though, because the last MacDuff's that we opened didn't have gourmand in it at all. But this one, I feel like by the name, you got to assume there's some fun things at this diner.
American Vintage was a shocker. Not just because the scent was unreal, but there was nothing at all, even remotely gourmandy under the surface. We were like, you sure this is a MacDuff's? All right, I'm so excited. Take it in, see what you get.
I want a slurp of that malt smoothie on the counter that MacDuff is having.
I want to hear a waitress call me sugar.
Ooh, it's a darker pour, y'all.
Oh, very nice.
Some sweet things happening, I'm guessing. Okay.
Are we back in the cafe 80s? Where's it taking you?
Oh, okay. There are some sweeter things in there, y'all.
Nice.
I don't know if it's cherry. It's a red fruitish, maybe.
Nice.
Kind of brighter. Not quite sour. Could be strawberry. Something fun. Maybe it is a strawberry shake. I don't know. But then there's like a fancy woodsy thing at the back going on.
Hey.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's more the masculine MacDuff side a little bit somehow than I was first expecting.
So how gourmandy is it?
I want to say, I can't tell if it's completely gourmandy or if it's maybe a sugar syrupy, like a Dr. Pepper kind of thing.
Shut up. Is it kind of close to Dr. Duff?
I'm not sure. It's subtly familiar. I don't think it's the same soda.
Right.
But I think it kind of has a hint at what you would put, like, you know, back in the day you'd have your Coca-Cola and then you'd put the syrups in it.
Right.
Like diners were big on kind of froofing up things. So I think it's something secretive like that.
Gotcha.
Let me see if my nose can figure it out.
Right. Yeah, they did have flavored syrups at the soda fountain. So if you wanted a banana Coke, hey, go for it.
There's something hinting at almost, I can't tell if it's more the Tonka bean vanilla or almost like approaching a little chocolatey.
Right.
Maybe a little almondy, a rose wood, like a cherry wood, like the counter itself. There's a scent journey in here, y'all. It's a little hard to pick them out. They're all friends.
You remember the first time you were given your own empty cup at a soda fountain, and what did you do? You mixed them all together. Does it kind of have that sense to it?
It has that fun part coming through.
Right.
So that might be how the scents are combining.
Gotcha.
But it does have that like excitement.
Right.
Like I feel like if you could just jump into like even the Grease movie, the set when they're in the diner, like there's just something fun and bright and like I feel like during that era, that was some time where the kids and teenagers could go without adults, but be able to hang out before malls and things.
Just be home before the street lights turn on.
I really want you to get your nose on here or to lather this up because I feel like it's going to help me decide if it's more going towards like a soda vibe or more like the fun, bright colors that are coming through with the fruitiness happening.
I will immediately accept this invitation.
Please.
All right, let's see what we got here. That's way different than I expected. I kind of thought this would be kind of a cream soda kind of thing. The one we referenced earlier in the episode was the cream soda that we've been told this was very much similar to. I don't know. We have not smelled that one. But y'all, I don't even really get soda from this. I get the vibe of a diner.
Yeah.
Whoa, hold on.
Like sugary sweets, I think.
But it's totally opposite from Silence of the Hams, which was kind of like a breakfast kitchen. Literal bacon, eggs, and syrup were in that. This is different.
Yeah.
This is like the diner right before they start cooking first thing in the morning.
Oh.
This has the beautiful highs of maraschino. It has the beautiful lows of sarsaparilla. The mids are vanilla. And there's a bunch of stuff in here that is just keeping it clean and a little bit reminiscent of a cologne you might wear in the 60s if you were a teenager. This is a giant vibe. You're not going for dinner. You're going to the soda fountain. That's what this is. Hold on.
Yeah, I get lunchtime vibes, for sure.
This is even more citrus and floral for me than it is gourmand.
Oh.
Amazing. Yeah, I think this is kind of like when you would mix all of the sodas together. There's a bit of an orange soda sense in here. There's a bit of a cream soda. There's a bit of a Dr. Pepper. There's a bit of a root beer. There's a bit of a cola.
Yeah.
And then it goes on from there. That's just the center of this. There's a Roy Rogers and a Shirley Temple and a banana split on this table.
Oh, banana split too?
Whoa. And what is that last? Hold on.
And it's in the long whiff.
Poodle skirt. And there's such movement in here. As soon as it becomes creamy, it becomes root beer. As soon as it becomes root beer, it becomes maraschino. As soon as it becomes maraschino, it becomes Coca-Cola. And then invites you to zoom out again. There's way more poodle skirt.
It's like you could be walking around the diner and getting whiffs of everything around the room somehow.
But not food. This does not have the chili dogs. None of that. But all of the desserts, all of the sodas, all of that stuff.
Just the fun, like the pizzazz, the energy of that fun music playing. It's in there.
Even something hinting at cotton candy. That's what this is doing. Something fruity and natural at its base, but it's being given all of that fun filter that a soda would. Oh, y'all.
It's like the vibrancy of the fruity sides, whatever those are, have been turned up just to the right amount so that you know there's more than one.
And y'all, we have recently introduced a cleverness or a magic scale that is not about each individual scent note, but it's about how they combine to create something new and amazing.
Yeah.
7.5, 8, I'm thinking for me. Brilliant, Sean.
Super creative, just fun.
Yeah.
Like, you know, out of 450 something soaps we've got going on, we don't have one that has this stuff turned up. There is something that throws it back to the 60s for me. I don't know if it's like a patchouli hidden in there. There's something in there that just has like, I don't know, like I can sense the material in the room or like what you were saying, poodle skirt. I really can. Like that's helping me know what era we're in.
And y'all, this has just woken up my inner child to where he's so loud. I can't even look at this with grown-up glasses right now. Could we please see the set notes? All right, y'all, back to the sales page at therazorcompany.com.
Vanilla bean, which is probably why this was a little bit darker.
Right there in the middle.
And then, look, cream.
There is electronic. How are you sensing it?
It blends like just enough that I could feel like there was like a subtle milkshake.
You are so right about that.
Just a little to cream it up. And then, black currant.
Y'all, somewhere between a grape, a raspberry, a raisin, it is a gorgeous scent in here. Oh, and then the next one is
raspberry.
Love that. And then pineapple.
Hold on.
That's what gives me that sense of mixing all the sodas together, because one of them was going to be a little bit outside the box, think your mellow yellows kind of thing, and was going to give that a rather unusual, rather Aventus sort of taste to it. I'm just kidding. And pineapple is a citrus.
Yes.
So that may have been what we were sensing on the top
Just
of it.
the brighter, sweeter side of fruits.
Dole Whip. It's in here, y'all. And then our base notes.
Musk, patchouli, we were right, and sandalwood. But just enough to set the tone a little more of a masculine-ish kind of thing.
Well, and I think this is kind of giving me a sense of an 80s diner, not a 50s diner, because it's got a little bit of white musk in there that was so reminiscent of some of those colognes, right?
And there's a restaurant near us, Mel's Diner, that was actually in American Graffiti. And when you sit at your own little table, you have like a personal jukebox that sits right there.
Yeah, that was shot in Modesto, California.
Yeah.
It's only about an hour and a half from here. We have been there. This is a beautiful combination. And can we please talk about those last two for a second? How are you sensing the patchouli? Because y'all, these are being used in a different way.
And it's whatever patchouli that MacDuff normally uses, which is why I could pick it out. But it's turned down so much that it's almost like the last part of the whiff for me. It's a long whiff, but at the very end, I get that part. And it doesn't make it dark. But my brain at first almost was like, is that almost a chocolatey? That was the sassafras kind of vibe? I think the spices are what's coming out between the patchouli and sandalwood together.
Right. And Sean's patchoulis, y'all, have a way of making very, very palatable to me the parts of patchouli that usually weren't. If you went to San Francisco State in the 90s, and then the way that's connecting to the sandalwood to continue on with what the lactonic is doing to bring that sense of creaminess to an undertone, giving me the sense of the soda fountain itself made out of wood. Beautiful. That's how it zooms out for me, is in the sandalwood.
I was just going to say that. I think the way that they're somewhat darkish on the bottom are helping the higher notes really have that leverage to take off.
Right. It's really giving you the darkness. You can see those streaks of light. And I don't really sense them beyond what they're doing to the other scent notes. I don't get the patchouli as its own character in here. So Glad Tide is a great joy. But the sandalwood is a little bit identifiable for me, and I love it because it's almost a gourmand for me, the way it's being used.
Yeah, it almost adds to the cream note, I think, somehow.
Right. And there's still one bright, streaming scent note over the top of all of this that in my mind has an orange color to it, and I'm not sure what's doing it, but I don't think it's orange. How are you getting that?
Let me see.
Is it part of the raspberry?
It might be. I actually think it's how the black currant is turning up the raspberry, like the darker one next to it.
Right, and I'm almost getting that raspberry sense from American Amber that was on the Masterpiece collection. The way that's combining with the vanilla bean, unreal, y'all.
I'm very curious to see how these scent notes dance a little bit more with some music and some lather, don't you
well,
think?
there is one way to find out. I got an extra quarter hiding right here somewhere. All right, y'all, these are our bougie sticks from Amazon.com so we don't contaminate our beautiful soap. And, this has got a little bit of a bite back.
Okay.
I think this is the version 4 base.
No, it says V5.
Oh, the V5 base. There we go.
I was reading ahead.
All right. And, y'all, this is the best $4.50 I spent on all of Black Friday weekend. It's the Razor Company 3D printed bowl. Beautiful custom branding on the bottom. And, y'all, I wouldn't even know this is 3D printed.
Yeah, now it's $9.99. Still super reasonable.
Still a bargain at twice the price. This is our bougie sprayer, a gift from the Smaldridge family. We're just going to add some water here, let it run to the bottom of the bowl, and then we're going to take this glorious Opus brush that Craig made me last year, and we're going to take that soap forwards. We're going to take it backwards. We're going to push down for a little bit of the backbone, start to load that soap onto the bristles, and then the patented Barbershop Duet move. We're going to spin the brush about 25% in your hand. Start over. Go forwards, go backwards, push down, get a little backbone. You're going to start to feel more of that soap making its way onto the brush because those bristles are being presented in a new orientation. Then, why not? It's a big day. Spin the brush again. You're going to start getting all of that soap just about onto those bristles when there's only about 10 or 15% left. Then dive down to the bottom and go for that water. Sop it up onto those badger bristles, and then your lather's going to appear.
Things are happening. Let me just tell you, it's almost like you just turned on the soda fountain. Oh, there's so much lather, it's not even going to want to stay in the bowl.
That was one of the best parts of working at the Magic nightclub is you were given a glass at the beginning of the night and full unfettered access to the soda fountain.
Wait.
If you drank alcohol, the magic got worse over time. You know what's really cool? This has all of the fun and whimsy of like our Fruit Loops breakfast cereal soaps, but it's got more of a grown-up edge to it if you need it. If you don't want to go full-on Pee Wee Herman that day, this is kind of coming at you from both directions.
I would completely agree. Like, that's why I just keep thinking like Teen Spirit, like hanging out in the diner in the afternoon, or like, I just sense laughter and fun coming through with this.
That is the smell of this.
Okay, I know we don't talk about leather, but my goodness, friends, it is exploding out of this brush.
Y'all, you're going to have to show them that. Look at that. Y'all, is that crazy? It looks like the whipped cream on the top of your milkshake, which brings all the boys to the yard. All right, y'all, this is something you will only find here in the Barbershop Duet. This is, do you want a cherry on that with 1, 2, 3? There's something herby in here, Sean. There's something completely grown up in this that's not on the scent notes that just gives you a little bit of a sense that there's a parent outside the diner trying to look in and see where his kid is. There's something tiny and grown up in this that balances out all of that childhood sweetness that's happening as the majority of this set. And that is inspired. Without the dark, you can't see the light.
I kind of think it's more the local waitress that has known you since growing up. And if anything goes awry, she gonna tell on you.
Maybe it's that waitress that's like 112 years old. She knows how your dad takes his breakfast and how his dad takes his breakfast. There's probably a sandwich named after her on the menu.
I can't stop whiffing.
This dude looks like Dolly Madison.
It's so
now.
full.
Look at that. How'd you do that?
I have to say, this is one of the soaps that fills the black currant
I was about to say that.
In a whole new way.
It is magical in here. And I don't think it's just like one note. I think a few things have been combined, but I love how it's giving me that sense of a Roy Rogers against the Colin root beer sense and almost a grenadine feeling in this. Because only if you were out for a really good time and were celebrating something did your parents let you get the Roy Rogers. And y'all, if you want to see how this lather coats the face, we're going to take it deeper and show you. And we must apologize if you hear a little bit of banging on our window over here. We have a little squirrel who we have named Gus Gus, who leads a small army of squirrels who comes to our window at random points during the day for peanuts. Foxy Matt has seen the pictures.
Yes, he hangs on the screen and bangs until we open it to feed him.
They probably smell this, and I don't blame them one bit. Look like you're ready to add some Fruit Loops to that bowl? Are you kidding me? You can't even see the bowl. All right, y'all, here's how it looks when this lathers the face. We don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet, but we realize you may want to see how that lather coats and
just
covers.
slopping that cream up.
And with the MacDuff's, y'all, you will never be disappointed. Look at this on a dry moneymaker. Would you like to?
I think I would. It just looks too glorious not to try myself.
I just shaved today, so I don't even feel any little stuff.
It's interesting. Like, at first I thought it was making it more masculine with the deeper side, but I don't think so. I think it just bounces back and forth. I don't think there's a masculine or feminine. I think it's just a fun scent.
I think this is bouncing between adult and childish, and that's what I love best. Because if you walk in the board meeting, they're going to get the blank curds, the musk, the sandalwood. But on the way home, you're going to know there's soda pop in here. My first experience with a jukebox was at a large tourist destination park kind of thing in San Francisco called Pier 39. And there was a dude who had set up the human jukebox. It was a large box that he would stand in. He had a trumpet, and there were little numbers that he had like cut out of the side of the box. So when you pushed it in, he could tell what number it was. He'd reach his hand out through this little hole and you'd put like 50 cents in it. And this thing would pop up whoop in front. And there he was. And he had his trumpet. He'd play your song and then he'd lower the shield again. And that was it. And it was just this big cardboard box that he painted. Well, my dad was a funeral director and they have these large boxes that people are cremated in. Are you following me now? This was my childhood. And we made Marcus's human jukebox out of one of these cremation boxes. I spelled juke wrong because I thought it was jute box.
That's great.
And when my dad saw my final creation, he was like, that's nice. What's a jukebox? But I had this actual Casio keyboard inside of that cremation box. And when they chose a number, I would pull a string and it would lift up the front and I would play a little song.
Fabulous.
And once I opened up shop, nobody came. Well, they all heard me play for free when I was practicing the piano, so I should probably have like gone to Pier 39 or something.
Right.
This one's so cool because I love Christmas Sky, a beautiful and ultra sophisticated reimagining of Christmas night in Alberta. And then this is just a down-home fun evening at a jukebox in a 50s diner. They're so different in their complexity and in their sophistication, but not in how great They are. Well, and sometimes you want Fruit Loops, sometimes you want Beef Wellington, and MacDuff is there for you no matter what.
It's fun. I grabbed these little characters because I just thought they were kind of 50s diners. But the fun of the scent kind of reminds me when we first smelled iced pineapple and we were taken to Disneyland from the Dole Whips. But this smell reminds me of when we were walking down in Cars Land and we waited at dusk because they changed the lights just like the movie and flicker all on.
And they play that Life Could Be a Dream,
right?
Life could be a dream. And they actually reenact that moment where they all go cruising and the neon. It's Disney magic. And they do have Flo's Diner.
That was my whole point of grabbing our little friends, because I just felt like it was a good buy.
We don't have Flo.
No.
They didn't make a Flo.
I know you were mentioning earlier how the extremes are with MacDuff's, but it's super fun to have something like this that's just literally for the fun of it, have a great time. And then Alberta Boys that are more complex perfumery stuff, like the genres of different themings and things, even all the Sky series.
Very rum runner.
Right. So, just because you smelled one from MacDuff's, you have not smelt the variety that they have over there. Quite a fun adventure.
Good point. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be John Mulaney standing at the jukebox at the Salt and Pepper Diner in Chicago. Well, his best friend is going to have an idea. Why don't we ask it to play 12 What's New Pussycats in a row by Tom Jones and see what happens? Well, by just about number 5, he got his own. So, head over to MacDuff'sSoapCompany.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff.
I am back from my shave with Jukebox, and it was a fun shave. Not just because of the name alone. The scent on this one just makes me smile. I feel like I should be dancing around a diner, listening to some fun music, and the lather on this is brilliant. It woke up right away when I brought my strawberry shortcake brush with it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you, MacDuff's and the Razor Company.
Welcome to Messages.
Today is your last chance to be able to get in on our January giveaway. We are trying to give you a chance to get one of the inaugural soaps that they dropped over at Adopted Acres Soap Company.
Yeah, y'all, and all you have to do to be eligible for our giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou at thebarbershopduet.com so we can get back to you, and then check back here on our first February episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck. Are you sad you already shaved today?
I'm having regret. But you know what I love? I love how prominent that black currant is, and yet my nose isn't even done exploring it because of the way it's being supported.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know how it can be so fun yet so complex. Right. That's usually hard to have put together, which is why I think on our scale earlier we were like 7.5.
Oh, and we are going to start rating the labels.
Yes.
And what a great soap to look at that. Scale of 1 to 10, who's a good boy? What do you give that?
At least 8.5.
Same. 8.5 or 9. I love the nostalgia of almost the half-toned newspaper print colors and way that that's been done. I love a label that's got a Scotty dog on it, too. That's just bonus.
I just want to jump through and have a nice little milkshake or soda or whatever he's having. I want one of those.
He looks like he'd be the kind of dog allowed at a 50s diner.
It's fun. I used to meet my friend Kendra at Ruby's Diner, and we would get a giant milkshake and split it because they would bring you the milkshake and then that extra malt kind of silver thing on the side. So it was like a 2-for-1 for college days.
Terrible business model for milkshakes, but yeah, they always bring you the extra. They always make too much. Hey, I'm on board for that.
Right.
And am I crazy? But just under the surface, is there a little hint of cologne or perfume reminiscent of the 50s or 60s in this?
I feel like it. I don't know how, but if I could transport to that era and be standing in the diner, I feel like someone would be wearing something close to this.
If you were given a DeLorean, how do you not want to go back to the 50s? I think he made a perfect choice.
Me too. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.